Welcome to another episode of Cooking Healthy with Coastline. I'm Katlynn Ferreira, registered dietitian, and today I'll be taking you through a couple sweet treats that you could prepare for or with some loved ones. We often hear that food should be nourishing and satisfying, but there's also a major component of preparing food with loved ones or for them that shows a really simple sign of appreciation and that you care for them. So today's recipes would be great for Valentine's Day, or if you're simply looking to share with someone who you care about a little treat. So we'll be starting with the first recipe, which are strawberry oat muffins. And I'll be taking us through the different ingredients as we go along. I'll start with the wet ingredients. So a cup of milk. It's already been measured out. A cup of milk. Some mashed banana for some sweetness, kind of cuts back on the sugar content. I've got a teaspoon of vanilla, 1 egg. I'll just beat this super quickly. Okay, and I'll hold on to this fork here. Okay, I'm using some reduced fat yogurt in place of sour cream. If you're used to doing that with muffin recipes, adding the yogurt helps to boost the protein content and can control the fat a little bit. It's a nice little substitute. Okay. And I'm going to now mix in some of the dry ingredients, starting with the flour. I'm using 2 cups of a particular all-purpose flour, baking flour. It's by Kodiak Cakes, which have a lot of different products. You can find their different boxes for flapjacks, for muffin mixes, and even the all-purpose. So I'm using this all-purpose flour in place of their muffin mix because I noticed the muffin mix was much higher in calories, sugar, and sodium. And the all-purpose flour that we're using today has more fiber, more calcium, and more iron. So it's very beneficial if you read labels. Okay, I'm going to add a cup of oats. That's not on their recipe on the back of the box, but I think it's nice to add sometimes to add a little bit more fiber for the extra added heart health benefit. Okay. And speaking of heart health, the next ingredient, again, wasn't on the recipe on the box of the flour, but I figured why not add some extra heart healthy fats with some flaxseed. So I have 2 tablespoons here. Next is some baking powder, 1.5 teaspoons, and a teaspoon of cinnamon. Okay, so it makes a really nice wet consistency, which is easy to spoon into the muffin cups. You don't have to grease the muffin cups here, which is a nice, cuts back an extra step of the preparation. And we're adding walnuts for extra protein, extra healthy fat, and I like the extra crunch it gives the muffins. Okay. And the last ingredient in this recipe is the strawberries. They add a pretty pink color, slight hue of pink when they're done, and extra fiber, extra antioxidants, and sweetness. And I've got a blend of frozen and fresh chopped strawberries because I like to incorporate ingredients that I use in both of the recipes here. Okay, so sometimes less is more. So fewer ingredients, but we can go a little bit further with making use of every bit of each ingredient. As you can see, it turns the dough a little pink. Okay. And once you feel that this is mixed enough, we'll just start spooning it into the muffin cups. Beautiful. It's really easy to work with. I like to use 2 spoons, one to scoop, one to help place it back in the cup. And this recipe makes plenty for 12 muffins. So you could cut back if you wanted to make fewer, or if you wanted to make a larger batch, you could just like double the recipe. And you can fill them until they're about 3/4 to almost pretty full. So while these bake, we'll head over to the second recipe, which is a beet and berry smoothie. And both of these recipes have a beautiful color that is warm and very appropriate for Valentine's Day. We might even have some leftover dough, so we could really fill these in. Yeah. All right, so I'm going to go back and fill in some of these so that they're a little bit more full. So the recipe that I'm using here, it doesn't require any added sugar. The mashed banana helps to incorporate some sweetness, as well as the strawberries. And because we really didn't add sugar, I'm going to just sprinkle a little bit of sugar on top. And I'm using coconut sugar here today just because it has a few more micronutrients compared to regular white sugar. Okay, I think these are full enough, so I'm going to stop there. Yeah, I'll stop there. I want them to be nice and full. Okay, so I'm going to take the coconut sugar. I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit on top. This way when you take a bite, you can still get a little taste of sweetness. We'll get a little bit messy, but it can be a lot of fun, especially for little ones if they're helping you. Okay. And just for a little extra flair, I sliced up strawberries to resemble hearts, and they'll go right on top. And these will bake for 18 to 20 minutes in the oven at 350, or until they start to get golden brown. And they come out beautiful. All right. That one doesn't look so much like a heart. There we go. All right, so they're ready to go. So now that those are in the oven, we can head over to our beet berry smoothie. I'm going to grab a couple of the frozen ingredients, which are frozen strawberries and frozen banana. Okay, I'm going to start with some of the liquid and wet ingredients in our blender. So I have a little bit of milk. I'm not sure exactly of the measurement there, just enough to make sure all the ingredients get nice and wet. Some yogurt. One roasted beet. I'd already roasted this to save time. But they're going to provide a beautiful color, and they're great for the liver and for the heart. Nice and messy. That can be a lot of fun. Okay, some frozen strawberries. It's about a cup here. And I might not use the whole thing because I do want to add some of the frozen bananas. They make smoothies a really, really favorable texture. And when you freeze bananas, it helps to cut them in slices and then freeze them so that they blend really well. I'm going to put the whole, this was one banana, so I'm going to put the whole thing in here. All right, just going to wash my hand quick. Okay. And we are going to give it a whirl. Hopefully this works. Look at that color. All right, just want to check make sure everything is well blended. Wow, check that out. Now they say we eat with our eyes, and I'd say this is absolutely appealing. Okay, I'm pouring it into a bowl because it can be very easy to go overboard with ingredients in a smoothie. So I've stuck with one vegetable, couple fruits, but the serving sizes were, the portions, were very reasonable. And when you pour it into a bowl, you can really see how much food you're getting just from that smoothie. So this is a standard like cereal bowl, and it's full. And I still have some left over in our blender here. So I'm going to add some toppings because it adds some nutrients and can really just make the experience of eating a smoothie out of a bowl a little bit more fun. I'm going to move that over. For toppings, I've chosen some granola, some oat granola. I'm just going to sprinkle it around. This is where you can have a lot of fun, especially if you are really creative and like to make things look really pretty. Okay, some coconut flakes. And you can just be mindful of how much you're putting on here, but you can really just use whatever kind of toppings you like. Some people think, well, why would you put toppings on a smoothie? Well, we put toppings on yogurt and ice cream, and it's very similar. So I'm actually putting a little bit of flaxseed as well here. Those healthy, heart-healthy fats, can't get enough of them. Okay. And some chia seed. And I think we could even finish off with some fresh strawberries just to fill it in there. But it's appetizing just looking at it. The color there and looking at the different toppings, you can really just dig right into that. All right, so our muffins should be ready. Pull them out. Oh, and they look adorable. So look at that. You can see how hearty they are with the oats there. Some of the hearts separated from the strawberry, but they add a really nice touch They look great. Look at that. So these are protein-packed, whole grain. They've got some extra antioxidants, and they were really easy to make. Awesome. So there you have a couple recipes that you could prepare for Valentine's Day or any upcoming occasion, or even just as a simple sign of appreciation for some people you care about. If you're looking for more recipes or for more information, you can visit coastlinenb.org.